I know how bad this sounds. I'm not proud of it. But yeah, every night, I eavesdrop on my neighbors. And before you ask, no, I'm not some creep with a telescope or a scanner or whatever. I'm just a guy with thin walls. And one night, I heard something I wish I could unhear. I'm 28, live alone in a small apartment in Philly. Top floor, old building, cheap rent. You get what you pay for, right? It's one of those places where the walls are basically made of paper. Like, I can hear my downstairs neighbor brushing his teeth if the fan's not on. The couple who lives next to me, I'll call them Liz and Marco, they moved in about a year ago. And at first, it was kind of funny. You know, I'd be making ramen and hear them arguing about, like, which Netflix show to watch. Or Marco complaining about Liz's mom visiting again. Just normal couple stuff. But over time, I started listening. Not on purpose. At least not at first. But it became a routine. I'd get home from work, heat up dinner, pour a drink, sit on the couch, and just listen. Like background noise. Only, it wasn't background. It was their life. Their conversations were like episodes. Episodes I couldn't stop tuning into. Some nights, it was lighthearted. Her laughing about a bad haircut. Him making dumb impressions. Other nights, darker. Marco's voice would get low. Calm, but in that sharp kind of way. Liz would go quiet. Sometimes I'd hear her crying. Sometimes just silence. Which was worse, somehow. I told myself I was just being neighborly. Like, if something ever really went down, at least I'd know, right? But that was just an excuse. Because part of me liked it. Liked knowing things I wasn't supposed to know. Liked hearing the raw, unfiltered parts of their life that no one else saw. I know, it's messed up. Anyway, this one night a few months back, something shifted. It was just after midnight. I remember because I'd fallen asleep on the couch and this loud bang woke me up. I sat up, waited, didn't hear anything for a bit. Then, voices. Liz, whispering, but not soft, urgent. Marco, louder, angry. Then another thud. I got up, pressed my ear to the wall. Not proud of that either, but I did. I could only catch pieces. Told you not to touch it. You said it was over. You promised, Marco. You swore. Then he said something like, "You're not going to ruin this for me, not now." And then, silence. I didn't hear anything for maybe 10 minutes. Just that kind of vibrating silence where you know something's wrong. I started pacing, telling myself it was none of my business, that couples fight, that I'd heard worse before. But then I heard something that stopped me cold. It was Liz, and she whispered, "Please don't do this." That's when I froze. I stood there, completely still, my hand on the wall like I could pull the sound out of it. And then, nothing. No footsteps, no door, no more voices, just silence. I didn't sleep that night. I laid there in bed, staring at the ceiling, heart pounding like I'd been the one in the argument. The next day I listened. No sound. The day after that, same thing. It was like they vanished. 3 days went by. Finally, I saw Marco coming up the stairs, alone. He nodded at me, smiled, said, "Hey man." I wanted to ask, "Where's Liz?" But I didn't. Because what was I supposed to say? "Hey, I've been secretly listening to your private conversations every night like a human surveillance camera, and now I think maybe you, what, hurt her?" Instead, I just said, "Sup?" And he walked past, like nothing happened. That night I couldn't sleep. So around 2 a.m. I did something I never thought I'd do. I knocked on their door. Not hard, just a couple taps. No answer. I waited, knocked again. And just as I was about to leave, I heard it. A voice, muffled, from inside. I pressed my ear to the door. It was Liz. I swear to God, it was her voice, weak but clear. She said, "Help me." I jumped back like I'd been burned. I didn't even knock again. I just ran back to my place and called the cops, told them I heard something disturbing, that I was worried about a neighbor. They came fast, which surprised me. They knocked. Marco opened. He acted confused. Invited them in. They were in there for maybe 10 minutes. When they came out, one of the officers told me they didn't find anything unusual. No signs of distress, no one else inside. Marco stood behind them, arms crossed, watching me. He gave me this look, like, "You just made a big mistake." I didn't sleep at all that night. Or the next. I didn't hear Liz again. Didn't see her either. For a week. Then, I got home from work, and her car was gone. The place was empty. A "for rent" sign in the window. Gone. Just like that. I don't know what happened. I still don't. Maybe they broke up and she left. Maybe she wanted to disappear. Or maybe something worse happened and I waited too long. I replay that night over and over. Her voice, the way she said, "Help me." Was she locked up? Hurt? Drugged? Why didn't the cops find anything? And why did she never come back? I've thought about going to the building manager, asking for her forwarding address. But what would I even do with it? Send a letter? Call her? What if she doesn't want to be found? What if she can't be? Sometimes I wonder if I imagined it, if I was just so deep into their lives that I started hearing things. But I didn't imagine her voice. I know what I heard. If you've made it this far, seriously, leave a comment. I still don't know if I did the right thing. Should I have called sooner? Should I have kicked the door down? Should I have minded my damn business? I don't know. All I know is, she's gone. And every night since then, I sit in that same spot, and I listen. But now, all I hear is silence.